So let's have a look at the starting grid for the next heat, which is senior heat 3. Heat 2, and it's race 3 of the meeting. Groups C versus D. It's going to be Lawrence Herboz and Robbie Storder on the front row. Mario Sidler and Nico van der Pavet, who's got the moniker from me that he's been named Sonic the Hedgehog in kart form. Line up on row 2. Vic Stevens and Arthur Hobart round out row 3 with Archie Buttle and Thomas Behrman on row 4. Teresa Babichkova and Mateo Dankovic on row 5, completing the top 10. Armand Hamilton and Sebastian Koch round out row 6. Row 7, it's George Nassar and Elia Papacena. Ollie Yonkers and Annabelle Bryan round out row 8. Luca Prima, Debian Host, Eva Anagnostiadis and Ruben Verheyen round out row number 10, completing the top 20. Tonis Johannes Dominguez, Emily De Hoys, Alex Duncan, Emma Scarborough, Carl Korenik, Magnus Brandt, Manolo Sendin, Carlos Sasso, Adish Mehta, Carlis Kirikovs, Simon Pierre, Christopher Holst, Jake Bezelbeck and Arnaud Sabourin round out the 34 strong. So once again, we will have 10 minutes on the timer, plus an additional lap of racing. Now, for those new to the stream, Speedway Guy, just also to give you a little bit of a heads up, every single result called by myself are provisional, pending any technical and sporting matters to be resolved post-session. So I just thought I'd give you that little trinket. But a big thank you to, God crikey, I can't believe I'm saying this early in the stream. 326 people watching, and we are approaching nearly 1,600 subscribers so far. So out of the final corner, into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are on. Lights are out, we're underway, first time of asking. Lawrence Herboz leads the field into turns 1 and 2. As Mario Sidler manages to squeeze past and get through into P2. Very, very close into turn 3. 2, 3 wide at points as, we've had a rollover and a flip. And the driver is unscathed out of the cart, back on their feet. I cannot believe what I've just seen. A big, big moment. Driver being attended to by the marshal. That was a big, big roll. The driver is in discomfort, but is walking. Someone else has got a noisy exhaust out on the circuit. So we are waiting to see I'm waiting to see what the race director has in mind. Whether we might have I'm not too sure what might happen, but if the Marshall crew here at Team MKG, as always, we've got a yellow flag at Marshall Post 7 off of turn 12. So yellow flags. Have we had an incident down there? Not 100% sure. Trying to look outside of the commentary box. Carter's got going again. So oh dearie me. Not too sure who was the one that went over and over, but it was a big roll and the driver got literally flung from the cart. There is an exhaust, the main part of the exhaust, there's one cart that is noisy as I don't know anything. Waiting to see if we have a mechanical black flag being shown on the digital flag very, very shortly. But someone is running with an exhaust that is not legal. It is way too noisy, and that is a mechanical black flag. Can't really make out who it is, but 8 minutes and 3 to go. Lawrence Herboz leads the way, Mario Sidler in second. It was the 387. Looked like it might have been Simon Pierre that was the one that had the rollover, the 340. Adish Mehta out as well, and it is the 387, Arthur Hobart, that has pulled it into pit lane. Meantime, there is a good little battle happening between Armand Hamilton and Vic Stevens. This is for 6th place on the road. They come through turn number 7. And a little bit further ahead, there is a 2x2 side-by-side moment happening down into turn number 12. It might be, well, Teresa Babičková. It's great to see her back in the paddock. So let's see what's going on after lap number 3. Well, Babičkova's got to find 1.4 seconds, but there's going to be a change for the race lead. Robbie Stauder through on Laurens Herboz. And there is Mario Sidler from Switzerland. Elder brother to Tino, who was in the opening heat. And there goes Mario up the inside. Nice and neatly done through at turn 6. So Laurens Herboz, with then a handful of corners, drops from the race lead and goes down to P3. Mika van der Pava is right with Teresa Babičková, who is running 4th. And now van der Pava is through on the Czech driver. Also, one of the other interesting things, the Carlos Sainz, the CS55 chassis has been released. Funnily enough, there was an announcement just a couple of weeks, within the last couple of weeks, that Hunter Motorsport have become the sole distributors for that chassis in the United Kingdom. Of course, for those wondering, the initials CS and 55 relate to Scuderia Ferrari driver for this year, Carlos Sainz. But at the front end of the field, Robbie Stauder starting to pull away from Mario Sidler and Laurens Herboz. The top 3 covered by about 0.6 of a second. Fastest lap of the race so far. Well, it's outside of the top 10. It's the driver in 13th place, Tonis Johannes Domingas, 57.371. We've lost Arthur Robin. We are now going to lose another driver. Karl Korenik from Estonia is going to be out of the race on lap 3. So at the minute, it is Stauder from Sidler, Herboz, van der Pava, Babičková, Vic Stevens in 6th. Armand Hamilton being chased down by Archie Buttle. Mateusz Denkovic now 9th ahead of Thomas Behrman. As there is an exchange between Archie Buttle and Armand Hamilton, and Buttle is through. Neatly done by the Brit. Just over half-time in this second of 6 senior Rotax heats. Top 10 covered by 6.2 seconds. Devian Ross has made his way up from 11th for the Kartstall Benelux team, running on CRG machinery. And also there's another championship, well, there's another championship that made its presence known very much on the internet, and that was Karting Champions League, created by the man Henk de Jong, who also is part of the ownership team at MP Motorsport. So Stauder has the lead. Oh, good crikey, look at this quartet coming through the final corner. That is being led by Domingas, as up the inside, that was the 348 that went through. Ruben Verheyen, nice little move through at turn 2. What have they got behind them? That is going to be, well, Emma Scarborough's there in the 315. She's running with Strawberry Racing, but then MKC Motorsports, Elia Papacena seizes the opportunity and gets through on Emma Scarborough from the US. And they're being closed in on by the likes of Alex Duncan, Ollie Yonkers, Iva Anagnostiidis from Australia, now based full-time out of the UK. Sebastian Koch not too far behind either, and then it's a further second back to Canada's Arnaud Sabaha, who started down in last position in 34th. But Stauder still holding on to just over a half-second advantage at this point. So there's going to be battles up and down the order. Papacena looking for an opportunity to get through on Domingas. That's for 13th place, as it's going to get a bit too close for comfort here. There's the 363 of Alex Duncan running with Hunter Motorsport. As there's going to be a couple of changes a little bit further back. Christopher Holst gets through. Not too sure if that was over Anagnostiidis, as Duncan sends it through into turn 7. And I think that might have been on Luca Bremer, possibly, in the 358, which it was. And then the 396 of Anagnostiidis also managed to get through in the meantime. 2¼ minutes still to go. Stordeur still leads. Sidler still second. Herboz and Stevens. Van der Pavert has dropped down a couple of places. Was fourth, now sixth. So Babic Kovac still in fifth. You can see the amount of drivers trying to wrestle with the steering wheels coming through into turn two. A little bit of a clash a little bit further back and in that mid-pack of the group. So as always, it's never easy when you've got this amount of senior road tax drivers squabbling over the same amount of real estate. So 1.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. There's your leaders coming through across the line. It's Stordeur, Sidler, Herboz, Stevens, Babic Kova, Van der Pavert. Now Herboz fires it up the inside of Sidler through into turn 1 and 2. Gets the job done. Sidler stays in the wheel tracks nice and easy. Don't make any irrational, uncustomary mistakes. So the good thing is this will give Sidler the impetus to get past and try and get through for a move. And Stevens and Babic Kova are closing. So they are going to have to watch their rear bumpers very, very closely because they've got two very fast drivers behind them. So Robbie Stordeur, the 317, there has been a change. It looks like Stevens has got through for third. He has done so. Through on Sidler at turn 12. 2 more laps remain. We're on lap 11 out of 12. As the leaders make their way towards the Europolan for the penultimate time. Babic Kova now dives up the inside through on Sidler. Neat crossover move, but the counter-attack is very much there and prominent. But Babic Kova has enough straight line speed and Sidler decides to leave it alone and not go for the move. And nearly opens the door for Van der Pavert right behind him. Timer has expired. Next time around we'll go on to the 12th and final lap of this second heat out of 6. It will take us to the third of the way through the heats for the seniors. And Robbie Stordeur looks over his right shoulder, sees Lawrence Herboz is there rather than Mario Sidler. Gap is nearly 6.5 tenths of a second. Van der Pavert now through on Sidler. And the floodgates could open if the Swiss driver in the 372 is not careful, because he's got Armand Hamilton, Archie Buttle and Matej Radenkovic in close tow behind. So Robbie Stordeur comes in towards turn number 10 for the final time. Vic Stevens has managed to make his way up into third place. A couple more minutes might have given him the opportunity to go for the win, but it is going to be Robbie Stordeur that wins Heat 2. C versus D in seniors by half a second after 12 laps of racing. There's still more battling going on at the moment, coming down into the final corner. But Robbie Stordeur takes the win. There's still battles happening as they come across the line. Stordeur wins by half a second ahead of Lawrence Herboz, with Vic Stevens rounding out the top 3. Today's Babic Kova up 5 places from 9th to finish 4th ahead of Mika van der Pavert, Mario Sidler, Armand Hamilton, Archie Buttle, Matej Radenkovic and Thomas Behrman round out the top 10, followed by Devin Host, Ruben Verheyen, Elia Papacena, Ollie Yonkers and Emma Scarborough from the United States rounding out the top 15. Sebastian Koch, Alex Duncan, Luca Prima, Tonis Johannes Tumingas, Emily De Hoys, Eva Anagnostiidis, George Nassar, Manolo Sendan, Christopher Holst, Carlos Sasso, Kalis Kirikovs, Arnaud Sabahin, Jake Bezelbeck, Magnus Brandt and Annabelle Bryant rounding out the 30 finishers in the race. Karl Korenik we lost on lap 2, Arthur Hobin on lap 1 and Edish Meta and Simon Peer on the opening lap with a big flip for Peer, I suspect. but it's 1 to Jaden Teen, it's 1 to Robbie Stauder.